I'm Ernie Martinez, and I'm here reporting on TCI News. I'm here with Jeff Murdock, and today we're going to meet the real Jeff Murdock, who he is and what his definition of life is, what he actually has to offer for life, and why he is on this world, and the true mysteries of what Jeff Murdock really is. And Jeff Murdock, first of all, let's start. What exactly do you want to say? Is there anything that is on your mind that you want to say at this time?
Yes, there is. I think this city of Muscatine, Iowa, should wake up and grow up about what garbage and mixing fruit and vegetables does to people by throwing it in dead meat and dead meat wrappers. Maggots and flies get on it. It causes a lot of illness and sickness, and if just by this city alone stopping doing that would help other people's lives tremendously, along with animal life.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it from Jeff Murdock, what he has. Okay, Jeff Murdock, first of all, let's start out with a few questions. What is your definition of life?
My definition of life is living totally free of carnivorous actions, which is killing animals, causes women to be beat by their husbands, living in the fumes of dead meat, causes ill-mannered actions to be happening to men and women both by the gas fumes from it.
Jeff Murdock, how is this possible? Did you say it causes if you eat by the meat, and how is that possible that it causes all that? What you said? A vegetarian gas level, that's totally natural gas. That's everything that's natural on Earth. It's all the fruit and vegetables. By simply not throwing that stuff in the garbage bag that's got dead meat, bones, varieties of different things. It's got garbage bags, got batteries, they have everything in it. The whole town does this stuff. By simply not doing that, you're saving an expecting mother child from being born stillborn. How is this caused? What is the reason that it's caused? Why is it the meat? Why is it caused?
Why does the meat do that?
Yes.
It's a different gas level. It's one of the it's a lower level.
Puts it up in the air, is that what you
No,
mean?
it's a different level of thought. A helium gas is the top gas there is in the mind of a person. It's a totally vegetarian. It's just like a
spiritual, or
no, helium gas is vegetarian. It's all the natural fruit and all the gases that come from people's bodies and from fruit and vegetables. It's the top gas that there is. You put helium in a balloon and let go of it, straight to the top it goes. It's the top gas. Carnivorous is the lowest form of gas. It revolves around dead meat, different animal forms of this stuff rotting in a garbage bag becomes a gas of gasoline, butane, propane, acetylene. These are deadly gases mixed in with fruit and vegetables. It causes decay to people's teeth. It causes hair loss. Causes people's eyesights to go bad. It causes respiratory problems. It causes weakness of legs and cirrhosis of bones and blood. It's an illness that this state has got to overcome. It's all being caused by garbage.
all right, Jeff Murdock. Also, many questions that I have. Earlier we were speaking about what is. You were telling me something about you being Adam and who you really are. Who Adam is and who Jeff Murdock is. Who is Jeff Murdock?
Well, I'm Whitey Murdock's son, and my father, he died from cancer like about 13 or 14 years ago. And I still see him in other men of himself, like twin brothers, triplet brothers, quadruplet brothers. He never died, just his worst form of himself he killed. And that's all I can explain about my dad. And I overcome this carnivorous living. I lived this, was brought up the same way. And I went through a very rough childhood life, and now that I've stopped living that, some 4 years, going on 4 years now, I don't hunt, don't fish, don't do any of that, don't even use a garbage bag. I just rub this stuff right on my body. I don't care what people think I look like. I'm just like that ground down there.
Why do you rub this stuff on your body?
Well, it's just cigarette ashes and stuff like that. There's too many people in this city that's throwing it in the garbage bags, so I just rub it on my clothes.
So you're saying...
And I'm just about as same as that dirt down there that's growing grass, it's growing trees, it's growing flowers, it's growing vegetables, it's growing fruit.
You could grow something?
I am growing something.
So with this, what you do, it makes you grow, basically.
Yeah, I've gotten very smart.
How? Can you explain some things that we wouldn't know? Like you said earlier, you were Adam. Did you say you were Adam?
That's who I really am.
Can you explain that to me a little, like you explained it to the viewers? Like you did?
Well, it kind of relates around my mother and my father. My mother's real name is Nellie. That's just like a nail.
Is she still alive?
Yeah, my mother's still alive. My dad's real name is Whitey. And he's the white T. That's just like a piece of pie. You cut it, put 2 lines across the circle pie, and you got 4 triangles. That's who I am. I'm Adam. My dad is a high form of a father, and he had to kill a, excuse my language, but a bastard form of himself caused by other brother forms of himself that wronged theirselves, trying to rule over women and children and sisters and animals the wrong way.
So that there will only be a good of him. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and you said earlier something about you being something with connection with God. What was that a little bit about? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, who God is God in heaven is who Eve's father is. That's the Creator's twin brother. The Creator, in the beginning, created man in his own image. And when he created man in his own image, that's who the first son is Adam. In heaven, on earth, we're like twin brothers. When we have our differences, we're kind of feuding right now because I read his thoughts and he reads mine, and we get angered at each other because no, me and my twin brother in heaven.
Okay, so you have a connection with that? How do you connect to that?
It comes from living in the top gas that there is, helium gas. When you're not throwing fruit and vegetables into any garbage bag, you become very smart.
So what you're saying is that if everybody would do this, they would become even smarter and have contact with people up there.
People, yeah. Because yourself is thinking in your own blood cells. It's all in
Is there other
blood.
people who believe this?
Huh?
Is this your form of like a type of religion, or
no?
Is there other people who believe this, or how did you figure this out?
Well, I figured this out. It's hard for people living in the fume stage of carnivorous to understand where I'm coming from, because they're not living the same brain thoughts that I am, because I'm in a vegetarian gas, which is helium. Like I say, when you put that in a balloon, it goes to the top. Carnivorous, when you blow that breath into a balloon, it lays flat and dead on the ground. It don't rise. It's holding people down on the ground where cars are running over their animal forms. People are throwing fruit and vegetables down on the ground in a garbage can set out for the public to wrong themselves and to wrong others. I know a great deal about this city's recycling company and how they're circling around behind people, obtaining this. No, they're living. It's greed.
So
these people that, yes.
How could?
There's a lot of fruit and vegetable jars that get thrown in there. People's fingerprints, people's clothing, all these metal fragments and different things. Well, this stuff's all put underneath an extreme water heat, where it's screened out and silted through and washed off in these recycling companies, and they put it on these big shaker screens, and they just wash this stuff off and take all the right of these metals out. They're getting rich from this, and people are just throwing their everyday household uses into the garbage can and letting them take it from them right out of the garbage trucks and right out of the recycling company. Those people are rich. They're getting rich, and we're getting poor because they got us living their dead thought, repeating to the grocery store and right back to the garbage bag, where it goes and gets thrown out with the whole community doing this. And they're going to be forever rich. We're going to be forever poor until we all wake up and say, hey, these people, they're taking the right of our lives from us through that stuff.
Okay, also another question that I have for you is, why do you choose to live like this? I mean, I suppose you don't have a home, is that correct?
No.
Okay, and do you see your mom often?
I see her once in a while.
She lives in Muscatine?
No, she lives up in northern Iowa.
And how do you get up there?
I don't go up there. She don't want me to go up there.
So you are rejected by your mom, basically?
Well, kind of. It's because of the man she's with that me and him don't see eye to eye together, and I don't like him too well, and he don't like me.
All right. Another question is, do you ever have different thoughts about what the people of Muscatine, what you think about them? What do you think about? How do you?
I get mad at people in Muscatine a lot.
What makes you? Let me ask you this: what makes you mad when what people do to you? What makes you the most mad when what people do to you? By the way you look.
In this town of Muscatine, I've been repeatedly thrown into the Muscatine County Jail for things that I didn't even do, and I go to court. I never get a lawyer to defend me. I figure I didn't do it. I'll just defend myself and tell them like it is. What happened? If they can believe me, or they can falsificate charges on me. You know, there's nothing I can do about it myself. But they've done this all through my life, and I'm real mad about the police department.
Also, do you want to don't you ever think about getting a job or something? Or
I've had a lot of jobs.
What kind of jobs have you had?
Well, I've done farming, I've done field work, I've done roofing, I've done construction.
Why don't you keep?
I've done artistic work.
You're an artist. You're an artist.
Yeah, I can draw about anything.
All right, and also, why don't you keep? What is the reason you don't keep these jobs? I mean, you have these jobs and they're there for you. You can start something from it, you know.
That's hard to explain. It's like an employer. I'll be I'll be an employee, and I'll be working for my employee, and say this employer has a bad drinking problem, or he's got a bad drug problem, or something like that. And when these people are getting paid for their work that they're doing, that I've helped them to get done, they don't pay me. They go and spend it on these addictions that they got, that's being thought from the garbage, shoved onto them to get them to do that, so that they don't. So I don't.
The garbage
get paid.
makes them do it.
And so that I walk away and just say, heck, I'm not going to work for somebody that's not going to pay me.
So the garbage makes them do it.
The fumes of that does.
Okay.
It's a different.
The fumes
level.
affect us.
It's just like a stair. You've heard of the stairway to heaven.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's in the garbage. When all this stuff's mixed up, it's different levels of fumes. And when you're living in the top fume that there is on Earth, which is helium, that's total vegetarian, and being right with everything that's green on this planet, being right with your mother, being right with your sister, being right with a daughter of another man's life, you're living you're really smart about everything that everybody else is doing that's wrong.
All right. Also, other things that I also want to bring up to mind right now. You were telling me something about tobacco that you were saying. Can you explain that to the viewers a little bit? You said something about tobacco.
I throw no ashes. My cigarette ash. I used to live in a cigarette ashtray.
You used to live one?
Well, I used to use a cigarette ashtray a lot. I don't do that no more because everybody picks them up and throws them in the garbage behind your back. Ashes is where black and white comes from. It's the two colors. When you burn a cigarette, the ashes are black and white in the ashtray. That's every animal, every person that's got black and white hair. That's where that color comes from. The tobacco is a plant. It's a mother plant, of Earth itself. It's totally wrong to throw it in the garbage where there's dead meat, batteries, you know, numbers of other things. Bleach bottles, Drano. That stuff is what diseases people's teeth, their hair, their eyes, their bones, their blood. It kills people.
All right. Well, like I said, like earlier, you didn't really explain this to me, but what makes you most mad about people here? Like just not really like the police, but the community. What? Because of the way they treat you.
When I see somebody throwing a fruit and vegetable or candy wrapper down into a garbage bag that's all mixed up with all kinds of different things, I look at it and seeing that person just like throwing some little animal's life away or some little baby's life away, or some little expecting mother's child, they throw it in there and that child's being blood sucked while it's still in the mother through that garbage, and it causes stillborn pregnancies to happen.
All right. And
it's totally sinful and it's wasteful, and when the man upstairs comes down and straightens this stuff out, if these people don't stop doing it, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to get their ass burned.
All right. Now, what do you have something here for us that you would like to explain?
Well, this is just simple steps.
Caleb, come get this too, Caleb. You get this?
This is the simple steps of things what a woman should do with her stuff. This is just like a light bulb. It's like a big balloon. It's like a big balloon. A hot air balloon. It's just like a big light bulb because it is the right thing to do for all people, men and women. It's the top gas that there is. It's vegetarian helium gas. It's the top gas. It makes a person live the most kindest way to all forms of life that there is. It makes you very smart. You see people making mistakes. You learn a lot by watching other people and their actions when you're living in this type of natural gas.
Okay, now explain to us what
you becomes very smart. This is the glass jar stuff. This is all the fruit and vegetable things that are being thrown away, and they shouldn't be. They should simply be washed out. All your milk jugs, milk jugs are just like a woman's breast. It's the same thing as a woman's breast. When you throw them into the garbage, your daughter's going to have a flat chest, or your wife's going to have a flat chest because you keep throwing that form of life away. Those go into the recycling bin where it's clean. And there's a few mistakes in the recycling bin that the women are doing wrong. They're throwing bleach bottles, Drano bottles in with these milk jugs, and that's wrong. Don't do that. That goes in its separate box. Those boxes need to be extended a little bit and higher priority put on them. Milk jugs, your eggshells are very important. Don't throw them in the garbage. They're better off to go right back out on the ground. Eggshell is exactly, well, it's like this. You see the sun up there in the sky? Yeah. It's a very high thought. It's right in with natural gas, and it's a very high thought. Those eggshells is what can revive people's teeth and bring a real nice smile to a person's life. Instead of them going in the garbage bag, throw them back out on the ground where the bird knows what to pick up. Believe me, I know. Then you got your fingernails, women's fingernails, toenails. These are all things that are coming from your own body, your natural body. Your hair. Girls they comb their hair, and they throw it into a garbage bag with that rot, and it causes a sister or a triplet form of her, or possibly even an animal, to lose her hair. All your candy wrappers, all plastics of everything, cleaned, washed, put in a glass jar, put in the recycling bin, where it goes to the recycling company naturally. All these different things, small pieces of metal, all your old clothing that you you don't want no more, and most people throw them in the garbage bag. Don't do that. Take them out and throw them down in the timber, because they'll deteriorate. When that goes into the ground, it goes right back into an animal that it come from.
Okay, what does it stand? These all have significance for men too, or just
men are the ones that started this garbage bag stuff. They're the ones that wronged a woman. A woman is everything that's green on earth. They're the most of everything that's green on earth.
vegetarian days?
But men have a natural man. That what I'm saying by natural is to be the same way as he was when he's born. You know, nothing done to his body, to be natural, just as he was born. That's the purest form of a man that there is, a father or a son. But men should do exactly the same thing that the women's doing. Toenails, hair, clothes, shoes. Throw them back out on the ground. Throw them out in the timber. It's not littering. The stuff comes from the ground. Put it back into the ground. Don't put it in a garbage bag.
All right, we're just gonna wrap up things a little bit here. Jeff Murdock, thank you for having me interview you, and for letting the people know what you think about them, and just for talking here with us here. So I'd like to thank you one more time, and thank you.
I want to ask one more thing of you.
Yes.
Everybody out there that's going to watch this show, don't throw any coffee grounds in a bad place. Throw them out on the ground by a tree. It's just like blood.
All right. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jeff Murdock for you. Who he really is, what he really does. And Jeff Murdock, just thank you. All right?
You're welcome. The highest form of a mother here on this planet is a Spanish woman. It is. I know who she is.
Who's that?
Her name's Rose. She's the Rose. She's the highest form of a mother, and she lives in this town.
Do you know her?
I know her.
You talk to her?
Yep. I give her stuff. I give her my stuff all the time.
Your stuff, what do you mean?
All kinds of stuff.
Does she have the same belief of you?
Yeah, I'm sure she does. I go to stores and I get coffee grounds and stuff, you know, because they throw them all away. I take her, she's got flowers all around her house, and she just puts them in the flowers and lots of different things. But when I go out into the timber, like this year I was out mushroom hunting, and I had a donut box, plastic thing of donuts, and a bunch of candy wrappers and stuff I had stuffed in my pockets. Well, I popped the top on this stuff after I ate the donuts, and I put it all inside of this plastic container, and I closed the lid. And I was standing on the bridge, and I just went like that, and I dropped it down into the creek, and it went down the creek for a little ways, about 100 foot. And I saw a rose bush that was growing on the side of the bank. And I ain't kidding you. I watched this rose bush go right out from the bank and pull it right into the bank. That plastic stuff. What that tells me is that woman has the ability to go through trees, grass, all kinds of stuff, because her fingernails and her toes, they're green. They're green. Her fingernails are real thick. She's the most right of a woman down here. She's the highest mother form that there is. Everything that goes on the ground, candy wrappers and stuff that's natural stuff, she can go right through it and just pick it right up.
Cool.
And she's like she's invisible. She's that powerful.
Do you have powers?
Not like that.
Any type of power?
Any type of powers?
Yeah, I get mad and smack somebody. But I ain't got no powers that like I've seen her do. You know, I'd be out in the timber all by myself, and I'll see bushes and stuff like that, just literally no wind or nothing, bend down, swoop that stuff up, and pick it up, and there's nobody there.
How about fart gas? What is that?
That's poop gas.
I know, but like what kind of natural thing is that?
It depends on what you eat. If you're eating just fruit and vegetables and you're not throwing anything in a garbage can, poop is everything that's natural. It's fertilizer, and it grows everything that's green on this planet. Spanish people are real.
Because we're brown, aren't we, Coop?
No. You guys, you're the same as me. I'm like a white crayon. You guys are a brown crayon. Colored person, they're a black crayon. A red, Indian, he's a red crayon. Chinese, European, they're yellow crayon. We're in all these different colors. You see, just like the crayons have. When you open up that box, all the different colors that are in it. When you look at the flowers, how many different kinds of colors of flowers you see. It's the exact same thing. That's what this lady can do. She creates this stuff. I'm her son. She's a Spanish woman. It sounds weird. She don't even know how to speak English.
How do you communicate with her?
She understands a few words. I know she understands every word of English, but she speaks none of it.
Oh.
She won't speak any of it.
Do you understand her?
I understand her in here.
Oh.
When she wants something.
Do you know any Spanish?
Just naughty words.
Like what?
I don't want to get into
Do you know any Mexican food or something? Mexican food or something?
Do I like Mexican food? Yeah, that's good. Clothes. This is what you really got to watch right here.
Coffee ground?
No, that's coffee grounds. This is very important. You put coffee grounds into like a plastic container, say like this big, and you stack them all up like this with all your coffee filters. And after a period of about 3 weeks, we'll say, 2 to 3 weeks, this stuff turns into blood. When you pull it out, it's just like a woman's, personal belongings. It gets real thick looking, and it's like blood. I ain't kidding you. I take this stuff over to that woman because I know when I see that stuff, I open it up and smell it. See what it smells like. Coffee grounds, it starts to sour. It starts to sour after a while. That's because of all the people going into the garbage bags. And that's what makes the blood bad. It does to theirs. But when I open this thing up, where I go down to the mission all the time, 1 week it'll smell like coffee grounds. It'll smell like beans and coffee. And then the next week it'll start smelling like blood. And I know what blood tastes like. You can see all the scars on my face. I've had my mouth all beat up, and you can taste it.
By who?
Just from fighting when I used to live that way. But I get all bashed up in my face, and you can taste blood. When you got a big cut inside your mouth and stuff like that. And that's what this coffee grounds would taste like. When I smell it, it resembles the same taste of blood that I had in my mouth from fighting. And when I take it right to her. I just take it over to her and put it on her porch and walk off. I don't even say nothing because I know she knows what to do with it. But all them private things that women have, don't throw them in the garbage at all. Just, you take them and under hot water or something, cold water, hot water, wring them out, wring them out, and find you a spot in the ground to put them in. Put them right back into the ground. That blood is yourself. Don't throw it in the garbage with that other stuff out there to the public.